this life in every way. Me and my wife are working, no play. Now I'm out on the boat every day, having fun, no worries about pay. Easy work while the fishermen play, watching time pass as we gently sway. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. Fishing's great, I got beer on nights. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. Life is great, love this island life. Summers are warm, winters are too. Tourists coming down instead of turning blue. Hotels are packed, the tiki bars are cool. All ready to party and dance by the pool. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. Fishing's great, I got beer on nights. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. Life is great, love this island life. Go down to Key West. Blue waters here are truly the best. For a killer tan and a local cold beer, put your ass in the car and get down here. We're on the sunny side of paradise. The mission's great, we got beer on nights. On the sunny side of paradise. Life is great, we love this island life. We're on the sunny side of paradise. Fishing's great, we got beer on nights. On the sunny side of paradise. We're on the sunny side of paradise. We're on the sunny side of paradise. We're on the sunny side of paradise. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dave Roush Live. I'm Dave Roush, and yes, we're live on cruisingcountryradio.com. Cruising Country Radio is a sister station of Radio A1A, and I'd like to give a big shout-out to my general manager, Harry T., for making this show possible. I am live from my studio here in Ajijic, Mexico. The show will be on every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tonight, I have the great privilege to talk to one of the most amazing performers and rising stars of outlaw country music. He is represented by friends of mine and fellow musicians, Chuck Freeman and Linda Duck Freeman from Tough Duck Music, and Wes Henley from Highland House Productions. Well, now, let's get it on. Nominated for the 10th Annual Josie Music Awards in the Outlaw Country Group of the Year, please welcome Justin Wright of Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings. Welcome, Justin.
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Hey, we're just here, man.
Yeah, I heard that, man. It's good. It's good to finally catch up with you, and I want to thank you and Harry and all of the Cruising Country family for having me on.
Yeah, you're more than welcome, man. I've been wanting to do this for a while now. I finally got down here to Ajijic and got the studio set up, so we're able to kind of do this so it's a weekly deal. And I am super proud to have you as my first victim.
Oh, so I'm a victim now?
Yeah.
Well, you could, you could call me a lab rat, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, that's good. So, you know, I mentioned in my intro that you were nominated for the 10th annual Josie Awards, which is, I guess it's a pretty big deal. So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about the Josie Music Awards?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you this. I've been writing for quite some time now, and really, to be honest with you, the courage that I've got to finally put my stuff out there really came from my band, the Dirty Strings. And, you know, it was one of those deals where, and I know we'll allude to the single that we've got out right now and everything like that we're super proud of. But, you know, we actually were submitted for the Josie Awards, and my understanding is there's approximately 75,000 people that were nominated for that. And for us to be able to be in the top 3%, we're truly honored. I mean, it goes without saying, with this being our first year, really, to be quite honest with you, putting our original music out there, you know, it's quite an honor just to get nominated. So, we're super excited to be in Nashville in October at the Grand Ole Opry for such a great organization, the Josie Awards.
Now, 75,000, is that total entrance or just for the Outlaw Country group?
No, that's actually total entrance. As far as what the Outlaw Country group is, I don't quite know what that is. You know, the interesting thing about the Josie Awards is basically what you do is you submit your music. It's you don't really necessarily designate it to a genre per se. What they do is they've got industry professionals from all over the country that really listen to all of these. And they're the ones that really put you in that genre. You know, I think it goes without saying that, you know, this song is a little bit more outlaw, but some of the other stuff we do is going to probably be more country. It's just based upon this one submission that we've done, Dave. And it's, like I said, it's an honor just to be nominated, period. You know, our music, what I feel like it's diverse and it touches on a lot of different elements. So the next single you hear coming out may not be as outlaw. It may be more just standard country or something like that. But, you know, they heard this song and, you know, that's where they put it. So.
Well, you know, and the term outlaw, everybody thinks, would you hold up a bank? I hope you didn't. Please don't say it on the air if you did. And, I want my share.
Yeah. I can tell you with 100% certainty, I've never knocked off a bank, convenience store, or a liquor store.
That's a great lead into a song.
I'll write that down. I've got my pen and paper with me, actually.
Good. We may click on a whole bunch of different topics, you know, that, and that's how songs are written. It's really cool. You know, I write songs too and just never know what's going to hit your mind at the time. You could be driving or taking a bath or whatever. And it just hits you and you go, I got to stop and write this down or I'll forget.
Yeah. And it's really crazy because of course I write a lot of songs and everything like that. And I will say this much. The creative process is really cool with my band because they really, really helped me in terms of helping bring it to life. But, you know, it's interesting because, you know, so many things have changed within my life in the last 13 years. And you can when you hear one particular song, you can tell when I wrote it in terms of my life cycle of where I was. It kind of tells a story, you know.
So now you're a country boy from Tennessee. Tell us,
yes, sir.
Let your listeners and our listeners, know a little bit about Justin Wright, who Justin is. You know, where'd you grow up? Where were you born? Just give us a little bit of your history.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just like everybody else in our band. I was born and raised in Northwest Tennessee. Grew up on a farm. I'm a farm boy. Went off to college and kind of hit the blue collar circuit, if you will. Always had an interest in music, really picked it up right after I got out of high school. I was actually a jock in high school and really didn't, I mean, I love music and I like to sing and everything like that, but I really didn't pick up the guitar or any of the nuances, if you will, of being a singer songwriter until after I got out of high school. And, you know, what's really cool about living in West Tennessee and any of my band members will tell you is that, you know, there's so many great things to write about here. Because just the pace of life and just the genuinely hardworking people around here. I mean, to find content to write is not hard at all.
It's the South.
I mean, it's really not.
No, it's the South. you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. It is.
And its upbringing. Did you, what'd you play in high school? Football?
Yeah, I played football and baseball.
Football and baseball.
And actually, to be quite honest with you, I got quite a severe injury playing football my senior year. I was actually being recruited to play football and baseball in college. And, it was that injury that really kind of took me out of the sports game. And when I realized, well, I needed to take up another hobby, if you will, well, music was there for me. So.
Yeah. And it's a passion. So many young athletes, strive to make it to the pros or college. And it's just that one little accident, you know, or a misstep. And that's it. But you know what? You had a talent before football and baseball and all that, because picking up music as a hobby, it's not really a hobby. You had it since you was a baby, you know.
Sure. Whether you knew it or not, right?
Well, exactly. Because, you know, people go for years, they don't even know they can sing really. They sing in the shower and in the car and yeah, but then you put them on the spotlight and they get a little amplification behind them. And holy moly, guess what? You can sing, you know.
Sure.
Now, I mean, that's the talent I'm talking about. Being able to pick up the guitar or play the piano. Only savants get to, you know, have that luxury of already knowing how to do that. The rest of us have to strive. I've been striving to play the guitar for what now, 20 some years. Yeah, and I'm getting there. You know.
Well, I'm still striving. I literally just told myself I wanted to play guitar well enough to write music. So.
Well, yeah, country music, you need what, 4 chords?
They say at least 3.
And then there's all the minors and all that in there. It's, you know.
Yeah. If you're gonna write the sad country songs, you got to be able to play the minors. That's for sure. Absolutely. Now we're talking about your single. It's a brand new single out on the air, and it's playing on multiple streaming sites. Correct? Yes, that's correct. Pretty much all of your streaming sites out there, distributed by Tough Duck Music, and I know that we're going to talk about Chuck and his team a little bit later. But it's pretty much on all platforms. You know, especially your larger ones here in America, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube. You know, you can find it if you have a streaming platform, you're probably going to be able to find it there.
That's awesome. We have it down here too. Yeah, they finally released all the streaming stuff down here. Yeah, they had it hostage for now, so it's only out on streaming. You don't have CDs cut yet, or anything like that. We really haven't cut it yet. Like we really haven't cut any CDs yet. Like I said before, Dave, you know, we're kind of in the infant stages in this thing. You know, we wanted to go ahead and put it out there and kind of get a feel for, you know, do the people like this? Do you know what kind of feel can we get for it? This single right here. And, you know, what we are looking at doing going forward is doing maybe a limited print of them. That's something that will be available, you know, just like we do with our merch, which we're in the process of building up as well. And, you know, we're probably looking at doing a limited print on the CDs and, just for the single. And, you know, we got some other things coming down the pipe as well. So. Oh, absolutely. I would expect nothing less. So please keep us informed on your merch when it's going to be available. You can always text me or email me, and I want an autographed copy of the first release of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I listened to the song. I think it's amazing, and I think right now we should probably let the world hear your song. What do you think?
Hey, that sounds great. Hopefully they'll like it.
All right, here we go.
I'm at the bottom of the cooler and I throw the last one back. I head down to the Quagmire to get me another rack. Woman at the church house, she asked me why I drank. I said I like the way it makes me feel and it costs less than a string. Oh, I'm the kind of guy gonna be his own man. 'cause I can. 100 times I bet on love, and 100 times I lost. My friends, they all ask me, is it hurting worth the cost? Something about the feeling of a woman's warm embrace. And the thing about good loving, you know it can't be replaced. Oh, I don't give a damn, so you know where I stand. They ask me why I love this way. I tell them 'cause I can. Size 13s are all mine, walk in them as I please. I know my friends and family down on bended knees. I just let them say their piece, and then I let them pass. But if they try to change my way, I tell them kiss my ass. Oh, on these two legs I'm gonna sing. They ask me why I live this way. I tell them 'cause I can. They ask me why I live this way. I tell them 'cause I can. I tell them 'cause I can. Oh, I tell them 'cause I can. Tell them 'cause I can.
All right. Well, that's Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings, brand new song, 'Cause I Can. I know I jumped ahead of it there, Justin. I don't know if I announced it or not, but that's a kick-ass song, man.
I just kind of wrote, as well as I do, your inspiration comes from a lot of different places. And, when I took it in, I took it in with the band. I said, hey, wrote this new song. Let's see if we can come up with a riff and everything like it for it. I mean, I had a basic progression for it, but I'm going to tell you, the band really jumped in there and kind of made a funky element to it too. So.
Well, yeah. And now y'all out there now, you can see why outlaw country, because that is the epitome of outlaw country music. I'm here to tell you that song, in my opinion, will be number one.
Well, honestly, I've always said this, Dave, is that, playing music and everything. And when myself and the Dirty Strings got together, and, when myself and Greg, my drummer, and Tina, our bass player, got together to build this band, what we basically accomplished the things we wanted to do initially. And the way we look at it is, anything that happens from here on, Dave, is just icing on the cake. I mean, we wanted to go out and we wanted to play music locally and regionally, and it's starting to get a little bit of a reach out there. And like I said, anything that happens from now on to me is just that icing on the cake, and we're just extremely grateful. So
that's what I like about country music artists. You're humble. Always stay humble. Always stay thankful, and all the good things will happen to you, because I tell you what, good people get good things.
Well, and I tell you, it's like you said, particularly the independent artists, there's just so many good people that are so supportive, and I've always been the type of person that, I've always said a rising tide lifts all ships up, and try to make sure that we help support these local artists, and cause there's so many great ones here in Northwest Tennessee that, I mean, just so many. And the thing that I'm very grateful for is that by and large, these local artists, which there's a lot of great original artists they're kind of sticking together and help bringing everybody up. Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, you get in touch with those musicians and have them email me at DaveRoush777 @gmail.com. And I'll
Man,
see what I can do.
I'm already on it, Dave.
I'll see what I can do about
it.
putting them on this show. Maybe we'll make it a more than a 1 day a week show. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, right on, man. I've got several of them to send your way for sure that I'm huge fans of.
I am a country music singer myself, and I appreciate everybody in this industry that it's up and coming. And right now I want to talk about some folks that helped me and the same folks that helped you. And those are your producers and promoters right there in Jackson, Tennessee. The first one we should talk about is Tough Duck Music, Chuck and Linda Freeman.
Yeah, right on. Well, I can tell you, like I said before, music to me was a hobby for the longest. And it was one of those situations where I'd build a portfolio up, and at a time, sometime around the end of last year to the beginning of this year, actually my drummer Greg, one of the founding members, he's actually the one that introduced me to Chuck. And he said, hey, I think we got a couple songs. He'd be a great resource to talk to. So we went and talked to him, and we kind of went through a few of the songs and everything. And he said, what you want to do is you want to find a song that introduces your band to the world. And, Cause I Can kind of jumped off the page. And, what he did is he said, I think that's the one that you should cut to introduce yourself to the world. And, that's what we did. We went into, Loud and Clear Studios in Paducah, and we sent him the initial rough of it. And he said, this is the one. And, from that point on, he's, as far as this single goes, he's helped us along for sure.
I'll tell you what, I know he's helped you. I was in Key Largo, Florida, sitting at the Moose Club behind a set of drums. And, this gentleman walks up on the stage, and he started playing guitar. And I was just like, damn, this guy's good. And he started singing. I'm like, damn, this guy's good. And, we really didn't talk much until a while after that. And, I had Chuck sit in with my band at, the OV, the Ocean View there in, Islamorada. And we had so much fun. And Chuck and I have become really good friends over the time we've known each other. It hasn't been too darn long. He helped me with, Sunny Side of Paradise. And, it's doing okay on the Trop Rock charts. I love it. Yay. Go Sunny Side. But I'll tell you what he did for you guys was amazing. And that's.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job. And what's funny about the whole thing is that it's probably the same situation with you, Dave, is that, it wasn't until later in the relationship that I realized what he's really done throughout his career.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. He's coming up next week, so we get to pick his brain. Right on.
Yeah. That sounds good. And then, of course, his running mate there in Jackson, the, incomparable Wes Henley, and you want to talk about somebody else that's got a resume, that would be another one right there.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Wes Henley, Highland House Productions, Carl Perkins is guitar player. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said before, Shelby over at Loud and Clear really kind of got us some great stuff to work with. I know that, Wes was extremely, complimentary of the work he did, because he's, he, with Wes working and editing and doing that extra mastery, he was very pleased with the product that came out of, Loud and Clear. And then when Highland House got it, it was just, he put those final finishing touches on it. That little wow you heard at the beginning of the song, and a little slide guitar.
Oh yeah.
Really made the thing pop.
Oh no, that record, I'm telling you right now, it's going places. It's going to move. Your career is going to advance through just that one song, and not just that one song, but I mean, your ability to create and put out songs like that, is where you're going to find that, Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings are going to be on, the tip of everybody's tongue here soon. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like I said before, we hope so, but like I said, if it doesn't get any better than this, we've done pretty good, Dave.
Yeah, that's all we can wish for. That's all we can hope for is.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more day. If nothing else becomes of this, I've had such a wonderful life that, you know what? Hey, let's rock. one more day to play
That's
music.
man.
One more day to play music. One more day to have fun. Just live it each day till we go to sleep and wake up and do it again. Stay humble.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
here and now, I want to talk about the people that made you sound the way you sound, and that is your band. Because without a band, you're just a busker. You're on the street corner, which is nothing wrong with busking. I'm not putting down busking, but all I'm saying is that the people behind you that drive that song make you sound that way. So why don't you do me the pleasure and introduce your band?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've actually are coming up on 2 years as a band, and actually Labor Day weekend of what would be, I guess, a year and a half ago was our initial show. It's very interesting how we all kind of came together. Greg Fry, who's our drummer and a founding member, he's one of those Renaissance men. I mean, and he's also one of those guys that's just so multi-talented. He plays drums for us, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. He's had such an influence on driving the tonality of this band. And then also too, he does a lot of our sound work on our smaller productions and everything. The guy would give you the shirt off his back, and the name Greg Fry may not resonate with people on maybe a huge national level, or even to a regional level, something level, but I can tell you this on a local level, the man's a legend. I mean, it's crazy because you go out to eat with him and it takes him 20 minutes to get out of the restaurant because everybody wants to stop and talk to him. And, he's done some major things over the course of his career. I would say over the course of 30 years, he's played, or actually maybe 35 years. And, he's filled in and played with bands. He's actually, his father brought him up. I mean, he was one of those guys that at a very young age was brought up in music. I mean, he's been associated in the past with Johnny Cash. He's been associated with some of the hair band and all of those influences have really helped to help mold the sound of the Dirty Strings. And, right there, it was one of those situations where Greg had not been playing for a while, and I talked to him and he kind of said, yeah, we're going to give it a run. And then the same way with Tina Williams. She's our bass player, and her and Greg had played together quite a bit in the past, and she really holds that lower end, and I'm not sure if you could really hear it, and because I can, but the lower end is a very substantial part of our sound. And she's one of those too locally, just everybody knows her and loves her. And then we got our two guitar players, which are, like I said, what's crazy is this, everybody's within 10 miles of each other here. And I mean, that's really unheard of for a band to go, kind of, and particularly in a rural setting. And right. I feel extremely blessed to have that, and, we've got Aaron Pilkington. He lives in the same town as I do here in Dyersburg, Tennessee. And, Aaron's played for many, many, years. He's played with some substantial artists as well. And, he's what you call the steady one of the group. He plays the rhythm guitar for us. He'll play some lead too. Don't get me wrong. He can play some lead guitar too. But, man, he's just so steady and has become a really, really good friend of mine. And then the final member is Mr. David Faulkner. And, he plays lead guitar for us. And he, like I said, he lives about 10 miles from me in Trimble, Tennessee. And, he's a real blessing. David came on, a little bit later. I would say probably the end of last summer, and really just kind of gave us a jolt, One thing he does is he brought a lot of that country influence in where, the band was a little bit heavier than we are now. And he really came and he rounded out the sound, and, just super, super blessed to have him. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I owe everything to this band.
Awesome.
I mean, if it wasn't for them, then, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now, Dave.
I understand that. Yeah. I mean, I truly understand bandmates. That's so amazing. I mean, the back line, like you said, I hear it in the song. I hear it well. And I think your bandmates are an amazing band. And you are blessed to have them behind you. So now when you go on the road, they all travel with you, right?
That's correct. Yes.
How do you travel, in separate vehicles, or do you have a bus, or?
Well, it's actually getting to the point, Dave, where we're going to need something like that pretty soon. We've been traveling a lot on a regional level and everything like that, but it's starting to expand a little bit. So we're going to need a little bit of more streamlined transportation, if you will, going forward. And I can tell you a lot of that's got to do with the group that's really coming in and help pushing us going forward now.
Right. We need a truck and a trailer and a bunch of Harleys.
Well, I can tell you, I've got the truck and the trailer and a Harley.
But you can't all fit on it.
No. Well, Greg's got a bike too, but I think, I'll be honest with you, I think David Faulkner would look funny right on the back of my motorcycle. No offense, David. I'm just saying it would look really weird, man.
Hey, you know what? A cool thing here in Ajijic in Mexico around the lake, you would not imagine how many people you can fit on a motorcycle. I swear to you know who, I saw Dad on the front with a baby in front of him, a baby in between him and Mom, and a baby in a backpack on Mom's back, going down the road on a motorcycle.
That takes skill, because I have a hard time just riding doubled up, man. I can imagine that takes an enormous amount of skill, I'm sure.
The only good thing is the traffic speed here is about 5 miles an hour, or 2 kilometers.
Well, actually, to me, it would be harder to ride slow with that than it would be
exactly.
going fast,
And they're on a 125,
Oh yeah.
125 cc got 5 people, 2 adults and 3 children on it. It's amazing. Traffic laws here are suggestive.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
that's incredible.
Coming down here, it's a little different. I had my eyes open more than once on traffic driving in Mexico. It's fun. But you'll find that out, because you're gonna come down here. I know I'm gonna drag your butt down here, so. I've already got it planned, got the venue set up. So you might as well tell.
Man, I'd love to come down there and play sometime.
So promo, Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings needs funding to come to Mexico.
That's it. Yeah. The funding is the thing.
Right. Well, we can do anything we want to as long as we have the dinero, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
That's funny. Well, I am so happy that you got to introduce your band, because a lot of times it's just about the singer, and to me it's not just the singing, it's the whole mix of the band. Do you have a sound engineer that goes with you, or do you mix your own sound on stage, or how does that go about? Yeah.
So, as I said before, Greg Fry, our drummer, actually handles quite a bit of our sound. We do have a larger production guy. When we do larger productions, we have a gentleman by the name of Daryl Holder with Daryl Holder Productions that handles our stuff, like our show that we're playing this weekend. It's going to be a larger production show. To be quite honest with you, Greg can handle just about anything, but the fact of the matter is that Daryl does such a good job on these larger shows. We bring him in on them, and we're glad to be teaming up with him again this weekend.
Nice. And where are you playing this weekend?
We're playing at a place called Tennessee River Marina. As you can tell, right? Well, it's summertime. It's coming into summertime right here. It feels like summertime. I'm on the patio right now. It's about 80 something degrees. And, we're not as lucky as some of the people down there on the Gulf Coast, or you in Mexico, where you can just hop and take a day drive over to the beach. We're not that lucky. We've got a place called the Tennessee River.
Right.
And, so basically the Tennessee River is the oasis for a lot of people in our area. So as you can imagine, in the summer, we play a lot up at the Tennessee River, and Tennessee River Marina is one of the most amazing places on the river. And, we're so lucky to be back. I played there 2 times before. As a matter of fact, myself and the Strings played there last Labor Day, and it was just an absolute blast. And we're super excited to be jumping over there again.
That's awesome. I know it's tough, being a musician, and especially if you're not on the big stage, with funding and stuff like that. 'Cause as being a musician, I know what musicians get paid to do local gig work, and, it's nowhere near enough. But the admiration that goes out that people don't understand is if it was about the money, nobody'd be playing music, you know?
Yeah, I mean, status being what it currently is, I couldn't live off of what I make on music right now. That's always the hope that you can get there,
Right.
But there's a thing called paying dues, and I can tell you this, that paying dues stuff is real.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely real, you know?
Yeah. Here it's cool because most of the venues, it's funny, I don't even own a car down here. And I walk anywhere I want to go, and it's all right there. It's a wonderful thing. But I know, like, if you're in the country there, you got to drive to your gigs, and you guys, whose house do you rehearse at? Yours?
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. We've got a guy here locally that actually has a property that, on his property is an old church. And, everybody around here in Northwest Tennessee knows about the Grassroots Music Theater. And, the guy's name is Kenny Rogers. He's not the Kenny Rogers obviously, but his name is Kenny Rogers. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of those people that we talked about, that big underbelly of great music that's coming out of Northwest Tennessee, he's a big part of it because it's not just that he provides a place for people to rehearse, but he promotes so well and he's so encouraging, and heck, he plays an awful mean harmonica, and he's jumped up with us several shows and played. And, that's the beauty of the thing, is that not only are there great musicians here, but there's a great place like his place that's open. I've never had him not be able to open up the doors for a musician. And that's just really, I don't think he really understands how much he's done. And he's probably listening right now. I know he's listening right now. He's probably shaking his head no, because he's not one of those guys that likes to take credit, but he's been a big part of what we're doing. And other local bands like Lenox Creek and, Matt, solo act Matt Willis here locally, man, it's been huge for them and us.
Well, Kenny Rogers, my hat and headphones are off to you. And, you can contact me anytime if you want to be on the show. I'd be honored to have you on here just to shoot the breeze with you and find out who you've been on with and had you on your stage. I think it's awesome.
Well, I can tell you this, man, he would be a great interview.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the interesting people. I mean, so, you said, we were talking about wages and getting the stuff, and everybody has to work a real job because musicians don't get paid enough. What do you do, Justin? What's your source of income?
Yeah, I actually own a dealership. Well, we do trailers like portable buildings, trailers, enclosed trailers, and stuff like that. I've got a dealership here in Dyersburg, and I've been doing that for quite some time. And, the good part about it is as a dealer, I've got some flexibility in terms of this music thing. And, it's really cool. It works out really well for me.
Well, that makes it nice being the owner, because you can set your own hours. Do you have a website or anything that, you want to put out there?
I actually am working on my website. I've only been in business for about 5 months, actually. And, we're in the process of doing it right now. But, I'll definitely send a link out to you guys, because the company I work with, we're all throughout the United States and then parts of Canada. And, man, I definitely would love to plug that, and I'll get that to you for sure.
Absolutely. There's a lot of Canadians down here, man. It's a little Canada. They love a lot of expats down here, a lot of Canadians down here, a lot of Americans, more than most people think, but we are a lake town. We're the biggest lake in Mexico. So Lake Chapala, it's a wonderful place down here.
It looks beautiful by the pictures. I have to be honest. I did kind of scope it out the other day. So,
well, I'll tell you what, there are some houses here that you just go, oh wow. And they're on the side of a mountain that's just, and they're all constructed by hand up here. And I'm just like, wow, you guys are amazing. Some of the craftsmanship down here is I walk around and, there's this one mural at the Embarcadero that's, it's really bigger than life. And the guy's name is Kawil Vega. His dad is a really well-known muralist here. And Kawil is taken up after his daddy. And you walk these streets here, they're cobblestone, dude. You'll break an ankle. Their only paved street is the highway through Ajijic, Highway 23, and the rest are all cobblestones. We're down here.
So I probably need to bring tennis shoes with me instead of boots, right?
Well, boots will help. They'll be all right. But I mean, it's a different, you'll see when you get down here, man. It's different. I love it. It's amazing.
Right on.
Well, enough of me. We talked about Tough Duck and we talked about Highland House, but, you have a new, management company that's kind of taking the reins of Blaze Entertainment. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. I will tell you this much. I'm actually kind of taken back that a Blaze brought us on. That kind of came about. It's actually a partnership. Our manager, Terry McCurry, from TSK Music Management, actually reached out to us and said, "Hey, a Blaze Entertainment is putting on a show." Excuse me, pollen's rough here. Putting on a show here for Country Radio Seminar Week, and that's the largest week for country radio in Nashville, Tennessee. And we kind of got that call, and really it kind of all changed from that then, Dave, if I'm just being honest with you. Tara got with a Blaze, and we went up there and played a couple shows, and we got a great reaction. And kind of some dialogue opened up with Paula Ann there at a Blaze, and we talked about what the future kind of held. What do we need to do going forward? And I can tell you this: Paula Ann and her team there at a Blaze, the artists she's worked with and helped kick off their careers is just unbelievable. I mean, you talk about artists all the way from Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen, to the grunge movement, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Temple of the Dog, that type of stuff. I mean, Whitney Houston, she's even worked with Whitney Houston. I mean, just the company is amazing. And, the one thing that I noticed when we went and played is the artists, how the artists, a lot of the Blaze artists played at the same event we played at. And I was like, wow, I was just taken back and extremely impressed. And, we came back from Nashville and kind of opened up some dialogue about that. And, I've never in a million years thought we would be able to be with a great company like a Blaze and with TSK Music Management, Tara, and everything like that. But, here we are. And as well as I do, Dave, at some point, if you get to a certain point, you've got to realize you have to admit what you don't know. You have to admit you've never been there before. You don't know, you may not know where to go from here. And that's where a Blaze comes in. Strategically, they're working a great plan for us. They've been able to get us into some amazing doors. As a matter of fact, I'm going back in the studio tomorrow in Nashville, and it's because of the relationship with them. Recording, being able to record in a place that I just thought was a pipe dream for me.
Right.
And the band.
Oh, yeah. So you're taking the band with you? You guys are all going to Nashville into the studio?
Well, actually, I'm going to do some roughs tomorrow in Nashville at BMG with Jeff Huskins and Soundstage over there. I'm going to do some roughs tomorrow, and then we're going to roll in. We're going to see if we can go ahead and get some finals done Wednesday. And but yeah, it's just amazing to me because, I mean, Jeff's worked with people like, Lainey Wilson, Lainey Wilson's last album, Blake Shelton.
Get out of here.
I mean, and the thing is he's such an amazing, he's so diverse. I don't know if there's a rapper, Wiz Khalifa. He actually just did work with Wiz Khalifa on his new stuff.
You know Wiz?
Do what now?
Do you know Wiz?
I don't know him personally, but I will tell you he's from Pittsburgh, and I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I know him better than most.
There you go. Wiz is huge,
and
man.
The thing about it is that, Jeff has made such a huge name for himself in the recording industry. It seems like years ago that he was playing drums for Little Texas, but, he is, he's on the cutting edge of this Dolby Atmos technology that's just sweeping Nashville, and he was at the forefront of it, and he's amazing. And, I owe it all to Blaze and TSK. I also owe it to Tough Duck Highland House, the band, everybody, you know, that it's very humbling to say the least.
Well, I am happier than happy that things are going right for you. You know, we do our whole careers and, you know, just thinking, well, you know, maybe one day someone will be out in the audience and they'll hear me and boom, you know, and that's how it happens. You know, but the strangest thing is, Justin, is you're more likely to meet somebody in the audience shaking their hand or saying, thanks for coming to my show, than you are have them come up to you and go, boy, you're it. Because that's not how it works.
Yeah. Well, and you know, a good for instance for that is that, you know, we were, you know, the show we just played opening up for James Otto and Adam Hood, you know, and, you know, I know you know who James Otto is. He's an amazing artist, you know, and, you know, had #1 hits written for Zach Brown, actually was a co-writer in color with Jamie Johnson. And, a friend of mine up in South Fulton, Tennessee, actually told me, he said, hey, we're going to have him in for a fundraiser, songwriter thing. Well, you know, next thing you know, I'm going up and talk to him and stuff like that. And, you know, when it comes time for him to come back around and do a show, you know, we got the call. And, you know, I'm hoping we can do some work in the future as well. And, it's just, like you said, it's more just shaking hands. If I would have just sat there and not just kind of sat on my hands, that wouldn't happen. It's about relationships. Music is about relationships. And when I mean relationships, I mean, music brings people together. Music is a common ground, you know. You know, I don't get too political, but the fact of the matter is this, is that you're more likely to see a person come together over music than you are just about anything in this world. Absolutely.
Music is a drug, and not in a bad way. Music is a drug in the way that it heals souls. It heals, well, everybody puts music on when they're feeling blue. Anybody that sits around in a room by themselves, well, if they're reading, that's great because your mind takes over there. But if you're just sitting around, I turn on music. My wife and I listen to music constantly, you know, and being a musician, sometimes I go, I'm done. I'm tired of listening to music, okay. But you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But reaching out, saying hi. You know, the #1 thing about your band is your audience and how you touch them and how you reach out and touch them. And I see a lot of musicians when they go on break, boom, they go backstage and you know, then their audience sits there listening to the break music. But the true musician, at least the front guy goes out and he talks and he says, hey, thanks for coming to my show.
Well, that's the one thing I said is when if we take a break, if we take a little bit of a break in our music, it's funny because it seems like all 5 band members go 5 different directions.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, and you know, when we take a break, we don't detach ourselves, you know, I mean, we try to be very interactive, you know, and one thing that Greg Fry's always said is that he always saw us as we're a show band, like a live band, you know. You know, you heard the song on the radio today, but you know, to catch a live show, there's just I don't know, it's a different type of energy.
It's electricity.
You know? Right.
It is electricity because, you know, when everything's clicking and the band's right and you're on key and pitch and you get goosebumps, when you give yourself goosebumps, you know that it's right. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. Being a musician, I love being on stage. I'm the same off as I am on. You know, if you meet me down the street, that's who I am. And I know that's who you are. I know we've talked numerous days and you're the same person off stage as you are on. And that's what makes a true entertainer is that you're out there in your fans' eyes and the people that come to see you. There was a thing I saw on social media. It said, what's the main thing you should do as a musician? And I said, play to your audience because they paid money to come see you. They came to see you. So that's the biggest thing there you can do is play to your audience.
Right. Well, I've always subscribed to this point, Dave, is that, you know, if you're not yourself, eventually you're going to have to answer for it. And I mean, you really are. I mean, I don't look at it that way. I'm just saying that, you know, if it's somebody that comes across as fake, eventually you do have to answer for it.
Absolutely. Because,
you know,
you got to start remembering what you were doing. If you just always be yourself, then you never have to worry about it. You know, I open my mouth all the time. I put my foot in and go, damn, I wish I had a clutch in between my brain and my mouth, but that's just who I am. You know, I say what I feel.
Yeah. You do that because you can, right?
That's right. Because I can.
Shameless plug there.
Yeah, I know. That was good. Yeah. Now out on streaming.
Now streaming.
Yeah, now streaming. So, I was going to do a PSA for you the other day, and I didn't because, we had the show coming up today. Last Friday you did a fundraiser for, someone, and I'd like you to touch base on that and, tell us a little bit about what the fundraiser is all about.
Yeah. So, dear friend of mine, just a huge friend of the community, Mr. Marty Harris, he had a motorcycle accident a couple of weeks ago and just was in really bad shape. And I'm glad to report that he is now recovering and on the mend. But he has a road ahead of him, and I don't know if Marty and Debbie are out there listening right now. I know that they might be, but if y'all are, I want you guys to know that our love and our prayers are continuing to go to you. And, you know, the other night, last Friday, was just a complete affirmation of just the type of people you are. So if you're out there listening, I want you to know that.
And Cruising Country Radio is sending all their best wishes and helping Marty heal up fast, man.
Yeah. And, you know, I will tell you this much, you know, I was absolutely just completely taken back by the community response because, you know, it was Sunday at 8:00, 9:00 at night. I was sitting there going, well, they had something came up and it was showing a fundraiser for them on June the 15th and completely you know, the band was not going to be able to be at the event to help out or anything like that. And to my mind automatically went, I was like, man, what can we do to help this family out? And so, you know, about 9:00 on Sunday, last Sunday, I just said, hey, I'm going to call one of the local venues here and, you know, Tapped here in Dyersburg. And I called them and they've always been so accommodating to, you know, us and everything like that. And they said, absolutely, bring it on. Well, it started off to where I said, well, I'm going to bring in somebody, you know, we're going to play an acoustic show and we're going to bring in somebody. And then I said, well, maybe I wonder if this person, then all of a sudden I saw the willingness in people to help out. And I said, you know, we may be on to something here. We had 8 30-minute segments of music from different artists that came and performed. People came out in droves from all walks of life, And, you know, this time of year in Tennessee, you know, you have to dance around the rain and luckily Mother Nature helped us out. And, you know, I said this before about, you know, the musical journey of ours is, you know, I couldn't do it without the band, but I can tell you this much, you know, people have been coming up to me and saying thank you and everything like that. And I was like, I'm only a small part of this. You know, an entire community came together.
That's amazing.
It was great to see that. I mean, with all of the artists and, you know, there were artists that were playing there that I had not seen in a while. Artists that were just, you know, up and comers, established artists. It didn't matter. And like I said before, we had a great turnout. You know, we raised over $3,000 for the family.
That's amazing.
You know, just, you know, we had a father-son duo of, Justin and Adam Gunnels to play. And then, you know, an up and comer, Miss, Peyton Prince, who's actually the daughter of our lead guitarist, David Faulkner. And, then the Hutchison brothers, which they're actually, Josie Award nominees as well, which we were blessed to have them. They came out and played and, had the local legend, Mr. Matt Willis, came out and played. We also had Lennox Creek, which Lennox Creek is one of those bands I told you, Dave, I'm going to put you on when we get off here. I'm going to put you on them. And they've got some music out as well. And they came out and did an acoustic set. They're just, you know, 4 or 5 pieces, you know, cajon, get multiple guitars. then Terry Bell, which is one of the greatest songwriters I know, period. I mean, I don't care where it's at, here locally, came and did it. And then myself, and then the couple of the Dirty Strings, Mr. David Faulkner and Aaron Pilkington came and played. And then we had some musicians that came in and out as well. And it was great because, we were able to catch a break. All the musicians that came out and would say, hey, why don't you get up here and get one? And we were able to, it was a phenomenal night. And, it was all for Marty and Debbie and the family. And, the love was just, it was there, man. It was awesome.
Well, we can keep the love going. All I need you to do is tell our listeners how they can help. How can they donate?
Okay, what you can do is you can go to Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings. As soon as this interview is over with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a QR code up on Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings on Facebook. Please, if you would, follow us and share us. But more importantly, I want you guys to open up your hearts. And if you click that QR code, it'll have an attachment to Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. I'll also get this over to you, Dave, and Cruising Country Radio if you guys want to post it up as well.
Absolutely.
That's an opportunity for you guys to give and donate if you'd like to.
That's amazing. One thing that musicians love to do is fundraisers.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing is I think that the artists that are truly in it for the right reasons understand the responsibility that's brought to them. Certainly the local artists do here.
Absolutely.
And, I've always said I don't think it's a musician's job to tell people what to believe, but I think it's a musician's job to go out there and help people when they're in need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We did a fundraiser in Key Largo for my first guitar player, Stephen R. Miller, and we raised like $4,000 for him. And you know what? That's what it's all about. You give back to the community when you have it, when you have it.
Well, the thing is an event like that transcends music. It's just the right thing to do, Dave. If and it's not just me, but you think about the platforms, when you bring 8 different artists in, you think about the platforms, the people from all walks of life, if you can bring them together for one good cause, that's what it's about, man.
Is that exactly right? So, upcoming gigs. When, where, and what times, man?
All right. So we got Tennessee River Marina coming up. We alluded to that earlier. We're going to be at Tennessee River Marina in Decaturville, Tennessee. We're going to be playing from 8 to 12 over there. And I would suggest if you want a table, you get there early, because about 9 o'clock, that place should be shoulder to shoulder.
SRO, as they say.
Yeah. Standing room only, no doubt about it. But, another event we're super excited about as well is, we're playing CMA Fest this year in Nashville.
CMA Fest, really?
Yeah, we're playing CMA Fest this year. Big shout out once again to Blaze Entertainment and to TSK Music Management for getting us in on that gig. Couldn't have done it without them. We've got the Dirty String, myself and the Dirty Strings are actually playing 3 gigs, and I'll just go ahead and do that. And I do have one acoustic gig, but got 3 gigs at Nashville Underground on June the 8th, which is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
You can also go to Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings if you want to send a gift too. I'm just kidding.
No, send a gift, man.
No,
I'm all you can get.
No, so we're playing Nashville Underground June the 8th. We're playing on the 2nd floor that night. And we're going to start at 7 o'clock. Nashville Underground's right there on Broadway on the very end towards First. One thing I love about playing underground on Broadway is they're one of the few venues that is really, really, they really embrace original music. I'm not saying they're the only one, but they really do embrace original music, and I love that venue. And then on June the 9th, which is that Sunday, we've got 2 shows. We're actually playing the Doghouse off of Demumbrian on the 1st floor at 4:45. And then we're packing up and we're heading back over to Broadway to play the Underground, and we are getting to close out CMA Fest on the rooftop at Nashville Underground June the 9th at 12:30.
Well, you heard it here.
Yeah, we're going to be able to put CMA Fest 2024 in the books from a rooftop on Nashville Underground overlooking Broadway.
That's sweet.
And then, yeah, man, I never in a million years would have thought it. But I do have one acoustic gig that I'm doing at the Nashville Underground as well on June the 6th, which is a Thursday at 3:00. I actually got several artists that are going to be joining me for that one right there. So, yeah, just very excited about that. And,
well, you know what?
After that,
you know what? I got some really awesome news for you. Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings will be Cruisin' Country Radio's Artist of the Month for June, man.
Oh man, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
So you can take that to CMA, put a big poster behind you.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. That's awesome news, man. I would say I can't wait to tell the band, but I'm pretty sure they're all listening right now.
I hope so. Anyway, guys, congratulations. I'm ecstatic for you and your band, and everything good that's happening to you, is just amazing. Man, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Cause I know musicians are busy. I mean, and I want to wish you all the best of luck and things ahead. And I know we'll be in contact because we have a little thing going on ourselves too. But,
that sounds, yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah. We can't really divulge what we're working on, can we? But it's going to be pretty cool.
I think so. I really do. And, anyway, Justin, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and our listeners, and I wish you all the best. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off.
I got one more. Can I say
Come
one
on.
thing real
No,
quick?
bring it.
I'm supposed to say hi to one of our top fans, Miss Jamie Cutler out there.
What's her name?
Jamie Cutler.
All right. And her name is?
Jamie Cutler.
All right. You got it 3 times in there. Cool. Well, if you're listening.
Yep.
If you're listening, they just gave you a big howdy hug.
Dave, we'll talk to you later, bud. I appreciate you having us, and I know the Dirty Strings appreciate all the help and everything that you're doing for us, buddy. And tell Harry I said thank you, and Cruisin' Country Radio.
All right, guy. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, see you, dude.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was Justin Wright from Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings, and that's all from me from beautiful Ajijic, Mexico. Please tune in next week. My guest is the one and only Chuck Freeman from Tough Duck Music. And once again, Cruisin' Country Radio, Harry T Radio A1A, Paradise Road Radio, and all the musicians that we support. Good evening. Have an awesome tomorrow. Also one shout out to a venue here, El Barco. Carlos, you rock. I'm Dave Roush, and we're out. Later. Worked all day, minimum wage, got no relief from the help on it paid. Hate this life every way. Me and my wife are working no play.